Striker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It's a very quiet start to our Thanksgiving Day. Satellite and radar shows dry conditions across mid-Michigan, and we're mainly just looking at mostly cloudy skies this morning. That will carry through as we go throughout the rest of the day. Temperatures 31 degrees in Lansing and Mason, falling down into the upper 20s in places like Hillsdale. Of course, when we factor in the winds, feels like temperatures are a lot cooler outside, and that's even with winds hovering right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Our wind chill temperatures will likely stay in the mid to low 20s as we go throughout the rest of the day as we remain under these mostly cloudy skies. We are even cooler tomorrow, and the chance for snow will be increasing across the area as well. We'll have more details on the potential impacts you should be expecting in just a bit. 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
It was surprised. I was a little nervous, and I feel like we came a little too early. I'd rather sleep another hour.
Many weary-eyed travelers waited until the last minute to head out of town this morning, worried record-breaking air travel would make their Thanksgiving journey difficult. Instead, the weather now has everyone's attention. Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Today is Thursday, November 28th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Vaselli. Jorma has the day off. 6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. It's hurry up and wait for many of us this Thanksgiving. Planes, trains, and cars will carry millions of Americans around the country to their holiday destination. But like Kendall said, it's what comes after that has people more concerned about their return. This is what many drivers already are dealing with this morning in the western U.S. Here in Michigan, the National Weather Service recommends keeping an emergency kit in your car just in case. That's because lake effect snow could start hitting the west side of the state later today and even the southeast, including Metro Detroit. This brings the potential for snow sticking to the ground, while the Upper Peninsula could get more than a foot. Much of this system stems from icy Arctic air coming from Canada, which could pose a problem for travelers as they return later this weekend and early next week. Of course, to stay up to date on the latest forecast, you can sign up for alerts by clicking the weather tab on our WLNS.com homepage. You can also sign up for alerts by downloading our free 6 News app to get updates no matter where you are. Whether you're a last-minute shopper or you think you may have forgotten something, our 6 News team put together a short list of what's opened and what's closed this Thanksgiving. Wall Street closed lower Wednesday, and there's no trading today. All local, state, and federal government offices are closed, which includes the U.S. Postal Service. So if you're waiting on something in the mail, you likely won't get it until tomorrow at the earliest. Many big box retailers also are closed today, but some grocery stores, including Kroger and Meijer, will have limited hours today for your last-minute needs. Let's take a look at a few more. You won't be able to do any banking today unless you're using an ATM. Most retailers are closed to prep for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, but most gas stations are open, especially those that say they operate 24/7. Again, many larger grocery stores are open, but with limited hours. Some pizza places are open today for those who don't feel like cooking. And of course, airports are open for the record number of Thanksgiving travelers flying to their destinations. And finally, hospitals will remain open and are staffed in case of emergency. For pet owners, experts say the easiest way to avoid a medical emergency today is to make sure they don't eat the same food you plan to eat. Michigan's Department of Agriculture shared some tips this Thanksgiving to help protect your pets from harm. The state veterinarian says to avoid feeding your pets table scraps, as turkey and gravy can cause digestive issues. And some are even poisonous, including chocolate, grapes, onions, and anything with artificial sweeteners. And remember, bones are choking hazards. Experts say it's typically safe to give your pets small amounts of cheese and unseasoned veggies like green beans, pumpkin, and sweet potatoes. Even though the 2024 election is behind us, 6 News remains your local election headquarters. This morning, Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is raising awareness about a campaign finance issue. She says it's okay for candidates to spend money raised on childcare as long as the expense is necessary for holding or seeking office. Secretary Benson says campaign donations spent on childcare can be a necessary part of campaigning, therefore making it a valid expense. This after 8 Michigan lawmakers wrote Benson a letter asking for an official opinion on the matter. Michigan Public Radio says all 8 are Democrats and all are parents of young children. Senator Stephanie Change of Detroit says Benson's ruling opens the door for even more parents to run for public office in the future. If you ordered a new iPhone and haven't received it yet, AT&T says it may have been stolen, something that seems to be turning into an epidemic nationwide. Experts say criminals can track iPhone deliveries as they happen and steal the box right off the customer's porch. Now, police worry that thieves could turn violent, saying in some cases they've shown handguns or have threatened potential witnesses. They say home surveillance cameras are a great way to catch it happening or even prevent it from happening in the first place. Well, if you're like me, you probably can't say no to pizza. And especially this time of year, some of us get tired of all that turkey. So now a business owner in New York found a way to combine tradition with taste.
Sauce is gravy? That's insane.
This New York pizza shop is getting rave reviews, and it might just be the right recipe for reworking your own leftovers as well. They're combining roasted turkey with gravy, cranberry sauce, and stuffing and cheese to create a holiday pizza that many customers just can't seem to get enough of.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The highest impacts in terms of weather that we will see across the state today really going to be to our west and then also to our north in the northern portion of lower Michigan and also the upper peninsula. That's why they're already seeing a couple of these lake effect snow bands beginning to set up. Well, as we mentioned before, some areas in the upper peninsula expecting as much as 1 to 2 inches of snowfall. So if your travel plans take you in that direction, just make sure that you are prepared for that. Winds across mid-Michigan today still going to remain incredibly light, 10 to 15 miles per hour for our wind gusts. That's going to keep our wind chill temperatures mainly in the 20s as we go throughout the rest of the day. And notice even as we move into the day tomorrow, we're really not going to see much in the way of improvements. Temperatures right now 31 degrees in Lansing and Mason, 35 right now over in Ann Arbor, and we're falling down into the upper 20s in places like Hillsdale. Of course, when we factor in the winds at this time, it does feel a heck of a lot cooler. Temperatures today will be topping out near 37 degrees. Again, we hold on to mostly cloudy conditions. Snow showers will begin to move in overnight tonight. And with those lake effect snow bands, it's really going to be hit or miss between where they set up and of course then where the impacts are going to be too.
Yeah, lake effect can be a little sketchy. We'll call it sketchy.
Yeah, so a couple of the heaviest bands could be moving in, but as I mentioned, a couple of slick and slushy roads I think are the biggest things to be concerned about.
Drive safe just in case. All right, thank you, Kendall. Coming up, we're riding the rail.